Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing this fine Wednesday evening? Let's get in here and pray. I pray your day has been amazing. Mine has. It's been a kind of chill day. I kind of like that. I take a lot more of these, God. Thank you, God, for being Jehovah Nissi, the God of the banner. You place a hedge of protection in front of me, behind me, and on top of me. You keep me safe by any means necessary. Psalms 91, you place me underneath your mighty wing, and nothing shall by any means harm me. No evil will befall me, neither will any plague come nigh my dwelling. 1,000 may fall at my left hand side, and 10,000 at my right, but it shall not come near me. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It will form, but I have the breakthrough formula from Jesus, Stove, and Arumala. Why all three? God said, come on to the table. If you want to come to the table and sit down and have a conversation with God, now is your time. There is no blockades. Okay. And I walk in and instead of fussing about what it looks like, just saying, okay, because God is good and his mercy endures forever. Okay. God is good all the time and all the time. God is good. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace, the peace that passes all understanding. Woo! Philippians 4, think on these things that are good and of a good report. And if I keep my mind stayed on you, you'll keep me in perfect peace. It don't make sense, but it makes faith. Because what I have faith in, I'm going to believe. And what I believe, I'm going to act on. And what I act on, I'm going to see happen in the spirit realm before it happen in this realm, because the spirit realm is the realest realm. Because remember, we're spirit beings first, then we have a body, then we have a soul. Okay. Everything going to happen in the spirit first. Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts, you're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You are me and I am you. You placed a small all spot in my heart before even entering my mother's womb. You told Jeremiah in Jeremiah's chapters 1 and 2 that you knew him before he even entered his mother's womb. You said the same thing to all of us. Why? Because God is not a respecter person. If he said to me, he'll say it to you. Are you willing to do the work? That's one thing God wants to see. Okay. To change your mind and change your life. Okay. Break it down. We had a covenant with God before we got here. And then God takes an aspect of himself. God is not an aspect of love. God is love. He places an aspect of himself in our heart, like a little piece of the Grinch. Okay? Not the Grinch heart. It's up to us how we see that love, and everyone else sees it. It could be a foot. It can be 20 feet. It could be 40. It could be 100 feet. It could be 1,000 feet. It could be bigger than that. But it's based on how we work it. Ephesians 3:20 says, God will do exceedingly abundantly above all I ask or think. Wait a minute. According to how it works in me. What do I believe? Am I willing to work that out? Walk that out in my everyday life? That's what I'm going to see. So we read the first part of that verse. We don't read the last part. The last part says what you believe. Because that's how he going to blow up on you. Okay. Because you acting out what you believe. Jehovah Elohim, the God of gods, he made all this stuff to put between us and God. And God was like, look, I gave you the ideas for the stuff. I just thought you going to keep the creator first before you go to the creation. Because when you go to the creation before you come to the creator, you get a one-sided story. If you'd have came to me first, I would have gave you everything in the beginning. I'm talking about stuff too. Then you wouldn't have been so hurt. And I said, I see what you're saying, God. I see what you're saying. See, I take it like a trooper. Okay, even when I get the butt whippings. Because that let me know you didn't leave me out here by myself. Okay. Child. God don't want us to get bamboozled, hoodwinked, and lied to. So God says, come to me, have a personal relationship with me, one-on-one. So when you go to them, you get your confirmation from them because you already got the word from God, okay? And when you don't get the confirmation, it's time to get up. Because that means Ichabod is written on something. That means the presence of the Lord is gone. And if God is gone, you don't need to be there neither, okay? And you don't need approval for anyone. That can be smashed, okay? God didn't tell you to have that. Man said that. Because man want to have control. Who you going to listen to? God? Or you going to listen to man? Okay. Sometimes you got to make a decision. God or man. Not trying to get you to be disrespectful, just saying God or man. Jehovah El Shaddai, the Most High God, your name is higher than any name that is on this earth or the universe. If it can be conjugated in a sentence and a punctuation can be placed at the end of that sentence, God is higher than that. And then if I try to talk to you and would think of something I try to tell you, guess what? It's going to be in a sentence or it's going to be a few paragraphs, which means it's going to have punctuation. God is higher than that. There's nothing that we can do to try to come up with anything that's bigger than God. Because God made everything. Jehovah Jireh, my provider, there is no lack, only provision. You're more than enough and you supply all I need. I'm worthy because I exist and I exist because I'm worthy. Because I was born of a womb of a woman, I am worthy. There's nothing that you will ever withhold from me. You are my source, not the things on the outside of me, okay, that's trying to get my attention. You use people on this earth to bless me. See, wealth comes from the north, as above, so below, not from the east, west, and the south. It will always be supplied to me supernaturally if I believe it. See, everything is based on my belief. And it's by my frequency and my energy, which is key. If God is here, I'm over here. God said, come to me as you are. That means I got to get up, change my perspective, and come to God. Jehovah Rapha, my healer. You heal my mind, my soul, my body, my spirit. You heal so much of me. Today I've been doing pretty good. I did a new workout. I did the chair mountain climbers. I held onto the chair to do the mountain climbers so I won't be so hard on the floor. It was raining real hard to go outside today. Jehovah Gamola, the God of the recompense. Ain't no getting even with people and, arguing with people. They know what they did. You know what they did. Why we wasting energy? Just send all that negative energy up to the Creator, ask the Creator to cleanse and purify it and send it back to you. So you can send it back to the center. Cleanse and purify. No blocking no paths. No stopping their paths. No matter what nobody did. Why? Because we got cause and effect, so many reasons, and corresponding action, meaning everything that we do and say is a seed. So, it could be a good tree or a bad tree. It's how you put it in the ground. I live under the law of assumption because remember, nothing is good or bad. It's how you use it. I live under the law of assumption that it's already worked out. I don't have to stress about it. Everything doesn't require my response or my fight. I choose my battles properly and I leave it in God's hands. Ain't no fussing and no stressing me out, and so it will be and so to be and forevermore. Some stuff you just need to leave in God's hand and leave it right there. Leave it right there. Sometimes it's hard because sometimes you want to get your get back, but what's better? Your get back or being at peace with God? That's why I had to ask myself when I first started this journey. Look at the description below to see a few items just for you. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Man, me and God had some really good talks. Ooh, page 46. Stay in a place of vulnerability and allow me to lead you where to go now. Trust me to minister to you. Come on. This is good. There's always a word in here. Ooh, sometimes you don't forget what God told you because it's just so good when you spend so much time with it. Ooh, because you doing everything to make sure you on track. Okay. And don't forget about my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Okay. Those two books are my shadow activity books. Why? Because you're dealing with your inner child and your inner teenager. That means you get a chance to bring joy into your world. Instead of it being so stuffy, I made sure they were stuff for your inner child and your inner teenager to enjoy. So you have a word of knowledge, then you have an exercise, okay? Then you have a shadow question. Neither one of them is going to like that, okay? Because it's going to cause you to look in the mirror, because I look in the mirror a lot. And then you have the color page. The color page is between the age of 5 and 10. God asked me to keep it there because in the ages of 5 and 10, it's most childhood wounding. By the age of 7, it is solidified in the system. By the age of 10, it is really set. 21 through 25 is now you considered an adult, and anything that's happening in your life is considered for you to handle on your own, okay? Then you have 4 pages. It's 22 chapters per book. It's 4 pages of sketching, drawing, doodling, putting down your dreams, putting down your visions, putting it down. Why? Because the closer you get to God, you start having Stranger Things moment and X-File moments. You'll ask God a question and your email subject will be the answer. You will go outside to take out the trash and something will go by with the message that you needed. You'll be walking by someone going to the grocery store or going into the grocery store, and somebody will say something that you needed to hear. You're like, oh, okay. It's just so many things that you write in your journal like, God, really? You made it come like that? God gotta show out for you if you will it. Okay. He'll show out for you. If you don't put if you don't put a box around God, God will just, man. And don't forget about my other 2 books, New York Times bestseller list, Influence and Impact with Chris Voss, and Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield. Because God don't care about your background. Why? God already know everything about you. You know every piece of hair on your head. Plus, even if you just got peace fuzz, God knows that too. There's notebooks and journals for all, coloring books that help in meditating and recalibrating the mind. You'll see the link to the podcast of with the women leveling up that was done in May. I was featured in 3 magazines, September, October, and December. I placed my new link to my own personal bookstore. I'm excited about this venture because I'm in charge of my own intellectual property, even though I have a lot of stuff on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. But my special journals are on my store. There are some freebies there just for you. I added the link of 105 spiritual laws. Although there's 7 in the Kabbalah in the initiate book and there's 12 in another. I said it's got to be, God is not an author of confusion. This is research. It is 105 spiritual laws. However, we're no longer underneath the Mosaic law. We're now under what Jesus bought. Jesus gave us the ability to love what's unlovable. Number 1, put up a boundary. Boop. Now they on the other side of the fence. You on this side of the fence. We're safe. Okay. Then you get to add love. The 2 paradigms Jesus gave us is love and grace. Okay. And you could say Jesus was the archetype if you like, but they did a lot of work to take him out of the Bible. They did a lot of work to take somebody out that didn't exist. I'm just saying. This Apocrypha, get yourself a copy, okay, so you can see the stuff that was left out. Child, there was a lot of stuff left out of the Bible. A lot of books. Yes, they had Esther in there, but not all of Esther. Yes, they had Daniel in there, but not all of Daniel. You see what I'm saying? They didn't put in Doubting Thomas and Mary Magdalene and the rest of the women that ministered to Jesus while he was here. All of them is in the Apocrypha. Child, it's a good time. It's a good time. You got the books of the giants, the book of Jubilee, so you don't hear it from somebody else's mouth. You can go read it for yourself. That's what I keep saying. Make sure you read it for yourself. When you read it to yourself, you've seen it with your own eyes. And can't nobody say nothing else to you, okay? So getting back here, Jesus gave us love, so you put a boundary, and love says, I release you in love, or I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you, because the only thing you owe people on this earth is love. That's it. Okay? And then the disciples asked Jesus, how many times will I forgive my brother? 7 times? Jesus said no, 7 times 70. Then Jesus also broke it down. He said, forgive me, when he did the Lord's Prayer, forgive me of my debts as I forgive my debtors. So that means I forgive myself first before I forgive anyone else. Everything starts with me before I do it with other people, okay? Because when you put yourself first, you understand what it feels like to love you. So when you give to someone, you making sure you give them from your overflow and not from what you need, okay? So we took care of the love, okay? That's 490 times because it feel like that because you're going on a spiral. And every time you come around this edge, you're dealing with this. Every time you come around this edge, you're dealing with this. You're dealing with that. So each corner of that circle, you coming around. And it seems like you're dealing with the same thing, but it's on a different level because you have a different perspective from what you learned the last time. If you put all of that together and hold on to the wisdom, that's all you can bring with you is the wisdom. Okay? And then grace, as God's willingness to get involved with human affairs, I told God, reach down and grab me. If I can't do like Peter, say help. He said, say less, I'm going to do it because I don't put too much in. I said, thank you. Then you got the 10 commandments. It's really 613 commandments, okay? You want to see them all? Get the Torah, the Tanakh, and the Kamash. Anywhere you can buy a Bible, they will order those for you, okay? Then you can put that beside the Bible and see how much a difference it is, because I did. And you like, whoa. Do your studies, and when you do your studies, you see something. So, break it down. God told the Israelites, there's no way possible you can keep 613 laws every day for the rest of your life. They said, yes, we can. Because see, God was telling them they needed God. They couldn't do this by themselves. They said, yes, we can. Us and our children. So that's how we got involved with this, okay? And then right before Jesus was did the Kundalini awakening, how we say get on the cross, they said, the king said, who do you want to release, Barabbas or Jesus? They said Barabbas. Barabbas was a serial killer. Straight up. Caught him in the act. And they talking about him. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So the king said, well, I'm washing my hands of this because I ain't got nothing to do with this. And so they said, put it on us and our children. Wait a minute, did nobody ask to be in that. All that happened all the way back in Egypt. See, the thing is, Jesus took care of this. But then in 100 AD and 200 AD, okay, Lord Henry that was with the Catholic Church took all these books of the Bible I just showed you, them 54 books out of the Bible. He took those out. So when he took those out, there was many generations that didn't know this. So if you didn't know this, how can I learn something I don't know? That's what I'm saying. So if the elders was gone and there was nobody to curate this and share it with us, how do we know? Exactly. It wasn't until it came back up that we found out about it. And when we found out about it, it was like, what? Yes, honey. So that's where the generational baggage comes from and all of that. Although Jesus took care of it, he gave us the authority that when we see something we don't like, we can say this instead of being complicit and and complaining about it. You get a right to open up your mouth as a believer's authority and say stop. You don't need nobody's permission to do that because you are a believer of God. And because of that, you can say no. Okay, that's all you need to do. Because see, we know everything, but we don't know everything. See, we are spirit beings, so we know everything, but we don't until we get to know it. Okay. And it keeps us from attachments as we go through each level and lesson. Talk to me about Jesus, those, and issues. So they covered everybody. Okay. The Adjective PDF along with your 400-page PDF, put them together and change your whole Sims character to Janky Promoter Game. I did. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy updates and the upcoming events. Don't forget to look at the link for the school app. I'm just getting things started, so come on over there and see me. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who for 2025, influential women and women's worldwide. Okay. God took care of me. Do you hear me? Just brought it right to me. And this is what I received in 2017. Give me one moment. Somebody didn't want me to share the message, but it's okay. I'm going to still share. So in 2017, I was working really strong with my nonprofit because I just got it together because I've been doing it for a long time, but I went ahead and made it official. And so in 2017, I was working with so many people. I was bringing women and teenage girls out of sex trafficking. I had so much help, but I looked up and help was gone. When people want to leave, you let them go. I don't care who they are to you. I don't care if they family. If they treating you ugly and they acting like they want to leave, let them go so you can keep doing what God told you to do. I don't care if you doing this business and you got 100 employees and 50 of them leave, let them 50 people go. Whoever stays is who God wants to be with you. And if you standing by yourself, keep moving. God gave that to you. Whatever God gave to you, turn it into a ministry and keep it moving. So I was helping them. I was helping teenage girls that came out and said they were LGBTQ. There it is. LGBTQAI. And girls that came out and said they was pregnant. Their families kicked them out. I took them to a teen center or they stayed where I was at because I had a lot of room. And then I was helping out, excuse me, confirmation bird. Then I was helping out people that was women that was in domestic violence. We lost two because they went back more than twice. Don't judge people because everybody's addicted to something. Addicted to adrenaline, addicted to eating healthy, addicted to the gym. Those are the good ones, but we always point out the wrong ones. But we all are addicted to something. All right. So don't judge people because when you judge people, you find yourself in a hole, honey. Okay, then I was helping people that lost everything in fires. And because people knew I had a nonprofit, so they was always giving me stuff. I had beds. This company went out of business, and they was finna close their doors. They was and I had already went up there talking about how much were their mattresses were. I was asking questions because I was trying to get some, and they said, "Well, we got some left. You want them? Child, yeah." And they put them I had them in the house, but then I put them in storage because it was just too much. People giving me so much. Wash it up and kept it, and, just had it for people. Taking care of people that way, and then I was helping families, and I put the pictures up on my website, Refuge Women's Transition Center. And then I was also helping people out. Then I was helping this family out for Thanksgiving, and then I found out some stuff for Christmas that a lot of people got laid off for the job. So what I did was I found out the names that I could find out, put them in a bowl, pulled them out, and when I pulled them out, what I found out was I found out the kids got 2 gifts for Christmas. The family was both those families. I made sure they had catered honey baked ham to the house for Christmas. Then they received $150 for groceries. Then I sent 2 women through therapy for 3 to 6 months. I can't remember how many months it was. And I sent them $250 or $150 for groceries to get them started back on their feet. Because let me tell you something. I used what I had. God said, this is your ministry, so work it. I said, and I am. And I'm so grateful that God says what we do in private, He reward us in public. God is grateful. God is good. I'm thankful and grateful because God is so faithful. Don't forget to look at the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company that I use along with all natural remedies for my assistance for the diagnosis I received in 2017 of breast cancer. They said I had 6 months to live. I ain't take none of them treatments. All natural things in the backyard, 100% silver shield, and was working with my naturopathic doctor. Basically. The show did. The doctor was like, it's all on your left-hand side. You got 6 months. We need to do immediate surgery. I said, the devil is a lie. They was like, it's all, don't you see that right there? I said, I see what you're saying, but if I agree with that, that's putting me in the ground. I don't agree with that. Again, you have the believer's authority to say what you're going to agree to and what you're not, because when you would agree, now you in a contract with that. I said, no, I do not agree. I said, I bind every disease, every germ, every bacteria. Now, you see why I did it? I wasn't going to have no contract with it. Every growth, every tumor, every parasite. Okay? And then I said, and I curse it to the root, and I send it back to the pit of hell from which it came, and I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the hand of God. And I said, I take full responsibility for what I did, for the food I ate. Yes, they poisoned the food, and I didn't know it. However, I'm going to take responsibility for my part. Okay. They said, what you doing? I said, child, I'm putting my order in, because when I come back with my testimony, you gonna know. So, child, I went home and talked to God, and God said, go ahead and get that naturopathic doctor. Did it. Got a naturopathic doctor. Started working on some stuff, put on everything that Dr. Sebi had on being alkaline, and she said, that's fine. However, being that you already got this in your body, some of these fruits and vegetables are going to cause acid in your body. We need you as alkaline as possible. So I scratched out the window. Let me tell you, do what's right for your blood type. Do what's right for your body. Your body is telling you stuff. Listen to it. If you keep eating something, it keep giving you heartburn and acid reflux, and then you take that medicine to fix it. Let me tell you something from being in the healthcare field in the pharmacy. Okay, you're taking that, but it's also messing up your esophagus. Then it's also messing up your kidneys and your liver. Okay, everything go through your liver. Love your liver. All right. I'm just saying, I ain't trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm just saying love your liver. All right. Child, did what she said, and my ancestors said, get that dandelion, get that morning glory, just, okay? And then the crabgrass is really wild scallions, but our ancestors lived off that. So you dig it up and you cut it up, put it in, clean up, cut it in. Oh, woo, it's so good. And then you got the poke salad. Poke salad was like lettuce and cilantro had a baby together and serrated around the edges. Delicious. Put it on your food, honey. I put it with my spinach underneath that jasmine rice. That jasmine rice wilted it, but it still had that daggone chlorophyll in it. And that's what you want. That's why you eat your green leafy vegetables to get your chlorophyll. And I know everybody on the juice kick, but sometimes you need to chew some things because your chewing allows the saliva to get involved and get the acid involved, and then it starts doing stuff because your chewing allows the esophagus to say, what we doing, and the stomach starts turning and your whole body get together, okay? So make sure you are eating something every once in a while, all right? Again, I ain't telling you how to live your life. I'm just putting the medical field stuff in there, okay? Psalms 91, 1 through 6, NLT. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge and is. He is my place of safety and is. He is my God, 100%, no shame. And I trust him 100%. For he will rescue me from every trap, and did and still does, and protect me from every deadly disease, and did and still does. And he will cover me with his feathers, and shelter me with his mighty wings. He is faithful to his promises. Let me tell you something. God's promises are always yes and amen every single day of the week. What it is, if you like me, the law of opulence, God will ask you what you want. He said, pray big. Tell me what you want. It need to be big. I ain't doing no little stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, let's go big. And then I say all this big stuff, and God said, okay, got it, done it. Okay, it's already done, but what I need you to do. Because you already said it, you've already seen it, so it's already done. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk it out step by step every day. Every day we're going to walk it out step by step. Even the smallest movement, even the smallest thing of changing your mindset, letting things go that's no longer good for you, and just letting go. And I said, say less. And every time I say less, I be looking at God like this. My armor and my protection, always. I'm not afraid of the terrors of the night, nor the bullets that fly at day. I do not dread a disease that stalks in darkness. Why? David told us in Psalm 23, where he was going through his dark night of the soul. Okay. He said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. My rod and staff, who knew my spine and shoulder to shoulder was my cross. Jesus said, pick up your cross daily and follow me. Little did we know we were headed in the whole body. That's your fuzz. Then it says, my cup runneth over. That's overflow. That's infinite wealth. Infinite in every realm. If you could think of a realm of wealth, it's infinite, because you pour out, God gonna pour some more. You pour out, God gonna pour some more. Because let me tell you something. God is really irritated with a vacuum. When he see an empty space, he gonna pour it up, because he don't need nothing dark inside you, because that's his space. Honey, and it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. What? Then it said Isaiah 53. It says, God will send the angels to go before me to set asunder to make the crooked places straight, and God is always my rear guide. Let's bring it back. God is being goodness and mercy, bringing up my rear end, making sure I get that goodness and mercy, making sure no one pop up on me, okay? Then it says, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. You know why? Because I am the house of the Lord. Once I leave this body, I'm still living with the house of the Lord, if you have made the right decisions while you was here. All right. And all right. I can't tell you the decision to make, because every day you making the decision where you going. Nor the disaster that strikes at midday. Every day we make a decision. Ain't nobody making a decision but us. Hand over heart for the affirmation. I am not society's script. I am my own definition. I am not of the system, but a flame from God's source, the divine. I don't stress about what I can't fix. What if I can't fix it in 15 minutes? Why am I stressing about it? I let go of that attachment. I may have a process to get it out of my system, but I'm not finna stress about it. I monitor the use of my own energy. If you don't monitor your energy, somebody else is coming around there peeping around the corner. Okay? Woo! This message that came to me today. This message came to me this morning. I was waking up. I went to use the restroom, and I heard, I need you to sit still for a moment. I said, okay. And I sat still, and this came to me like, boom, it just hit just like that. I said, okay. What frequency do you live in? And are you willing to find the right one that is yours? Everything is a frequency in energy, whether dense or free flowing. This pen is frequency, but it's a dense frequency. My arm is a frequency, but it's a dense frequency. This key is a frequency, but it's a dense frequency. This piece of paper is a lighter frequency than everything else. The air or the plasma we breathe is very light. You can't see it, but you know it's there because you breathe it. How you flow in your frequency leads you where you want to be. When you close your eyes to reset and breathe, that frequency, you can live in it every day if you choose. When you stop and you do that breath work, you can stay in that frequency every day. You can stay in that delta. You can stay in delta or the gamma rays, whatever you want to do. Once you make up your mind, you can decide where you want your frequency. No matter what's going on around you, you can find peace. Philippians 4. There is a peace that God will give to you that will change your frequency like nothing else. You hear me? It'll cause you to just pause and breathe, and you're just like, you're just going about your day because you're pulling yourself back in. Because you're feeling yourself getting pulled into something. You're like, no, that is not mine to deal with. Somebody else made a decision, and because of their decisions, that is their thing to deal with. That is their karma to deal with. That's not mine. I don't have to get involved in that. I don't care how well I know them. That has nothing to do with me. I can choose what I will and what I will not get involved in. God is pulling us to where we're meant to be. If we surrender instead of controlling the process, we can get there. And what that means is God is cutting stuff off, but you want to run behind it. Again, if God is removing anything or has removed anything in your life and it attempts to come back, it is not coming back for you to grab it. It is coming back to see if you have learned to completely let it go and not fight to keep it. Because if you fight to keep it, that means you haven't learned your lesson. And so we finna go back into the loop. We don't want to go back into the loop. The more I surrender, the more I see me and feel my way to coherence. Instead of fighting the river as I come in, now the river is allowing me to flow to get there. I set my location by GPS. I tell God, this is where I want to go. And God's like, okay, I'm going to take you there, but this is what I need you to do. You know the route I take. I don't take the shortcut. Because if I take the shortcut, you're going to run smack dab into everything I don't want you to run into. I'm going to take you the longer route because it's the scenic route. But in that scenic route, you're going to learn so much about yourself. And when you get to the destination, because see, it's about the journey. It's never about the destination. So when you get to the next destination, you have learned so much that you were light years ahead of everybody else that went ahead of you, and they thought that they was winning. Yes, they won to get there quicker than you. But guess what you did? You went the longer route. So when everyone else thinks they're done, they have an extra 10 years ago. When you get there, you're done. See that? It pays to follow God's GPS and not force your way through things. If something feels off, I release it and keep going. Because you're not coming with me. No anger, no bitterness. It's just not for me anymore. As we're all doing that, as we're all doing anything heavy, dents is coming to the top like curd. And what I mean is, I grew up on a farm, so when you get ready to boil the milk, all that stuff comes to the top. And that's what you take to make buttermilk. That's what you take to make cheese and butter. Okay, it all comes to the top. When clarifying milk or removing unwanted substances, we're all one and the same. However, if it doesn't match, it can't remain. Sometimes this really hurts. So let's break this down. We're all one. Excuse me, confirmation verb. However, we have different skin colors. And because of those skin colors, we've been placed in different groups. And in those different groups, different people have been handled differently. And it's funny now. There used to be a teasing of the FBAs. Oh, you don't have culture. You don't know who you are. And then all of a sudden we're doing an enlightenment study and we're finding out that everyone is living the lifestyle of the FBAs but didn't even fight for it. And now we're finding out that everybody wants to say, oh, we're all the same now. Before it was the FBAs is lazy and they sorry and they this. And now that we find out that we was the indigenous to the land because we've been here millions of years, now everybody want to say we're the same. We are the same. We are one, but we're not the same. We're all one. However, we all get to choose which way we're going. And whatever you do affects the whole. Whatever I do affects the whole. Okay? Do your own study, Daniel 1. Are you willing to pass the test with God? He was tested for 10 days after refusal to do what the king said. In 10 days, I'm not going to eat this, what the king giving all the other prisoners. Because Daniel ended up being a prisoner. Why? Because he chose to do it God's way. And the people that knew set it up that way so they could cause issues. But the king loved Daniel. So Darius the king, oh, he loved himself from Daniel. He protected Daniel for real. And guess what? Daniel was promoted. Ecclesiastes 1, chapter 1, verses 16 through 18. Talking about King Solomon. I went back to start reading this. Y'all, when you go back to something you've already read and you start really getting deep into it, I had to pull my concordance out, y'all. This is good. The more wisdom you gain, the more concerns come. Because now you know more. And God will show you more. But then God says, too much is given, much is required. Woo! What are you putting in action? Or are you just filling yourself with things just to say you know it? If the heart is empty, it is nothing. So you can learn all this wisdom. You could be a great leader on paper, but your heart is just nasty and you just mean and you're narcissistic and you're hateful. But you know a lot. But just because you know a lot, are you using that wisdom to benefit the people in your sphere? Or are you using it to hold people down? Remember, you're choosing your path every day living on this earth. I read also 1 Kings 5, chapters 29 and 31 because I was reading this, talking about Solomon. Solomon's wisdom was deeper than the sand on the beach. Think about that. Remember what God told Abraham? He said, I'm going to make your name great. And not only I'm going to make your name great, your people are going to be like the sand on the beach. You're not even going to be able to count them. And then in the Quran today, it was 5:23, emphasizing gratitude for guidance and the ability to discern truth from falsehood. Meaning, read this stuff yourself and quit allowing people to read it to you. I know when you go to places, y'all read it out loud. However, when you leave, do you have a copy of this to read for yourself? I'm just asking for the people in the back. Are you reading this for yourself? Because if not, you get bamboozled, hoodwinked, and lied to. Religion is the biggest farce. You can take from the religion and read it for yourself, and now it becomes a relationship. You see what I'm saying? It goes from religion to relationship, and that's what God is looking for. Yes, you went in it for the religion, but once you take that religion and make it a relationship, now you're not beating up somebody else outside of your sphere, because now you have done your studies, and now you know if somebody's a Christian, they are learning the same things you're learning, because you're learning about Abraham, they're learning about Abraham. Everybody learning the same thing, it's just a title on it. And we're thinking that we're better than the other, and that means you're putting your nose up. And if we're doing that, that means the Bible said, do not make yourselves higher than you should be. Symptoms today. Woo, let's talk about it. My crown and third eye has been going ham, and I've been having brain and spine zaps, all that. I opened my concordance to study the word today. The words I didn't quite understand. Words now and words then have two different meanings because we don't change words so much. Studying deeper to see the whole truth of the matter. And what you do is if you see a word you don't understand in the Bible, what you do is you're going to take that word and then you put Strong's, you put strong, and you apostrophe and an S, and you say concordance, and you look up that word and you see what that word meant then in biblical times. And then you do a study if you want to do it that way. I'm just sharing it with you so you can see how it is done to do an actual biblical study. Okay? So you're not on the outside looking in. Meditated and dreamcasted myself into my dream to be a part of it. And then found a way to bring that energy in today. A little bit of joy, a little bit of laughter, even if it was just smiling and snapping my fingers and dancing, because that's what I did. And changed my mind in the position I was at the time. I found ways to bring laughter to keep my heart light. I did. I put this sign, I put signs up to say, laugh at least 3 times, and every time I look at the sign, I bust out laughing. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just my quirky self. This allows me to gain better wisdom and knowledge because the more open you are, the more God drops on you. This allows me to flow with God wherever God goes. Voices were trying to talk to me, and I said I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. That voice ran on down the road. So did. Not I, said the cat. God sent me some wisdom to show me something, and I said, thank you. I closed every door completely and said, I'm good. I let go and let life do what no one listens to. Because see, when someone gives you some wisdom, you get the opportunity to listen to it, or you say, I think I know what's better. And the moment you say you think you know what's better, that's usually when you... I don't know about you, but that usually happened to me. And so I just had to say it out loud and release that contract. And I said, I released that contract, and I cursed it to the root. And I tear that contract up, and I am no longer connected. Thank you. Life has a way of getting your attention when you don't want to listen to the wisdom screaming in the streets. That is from Proverbs. It says wisdom. It says, because wisdom is used as a woman by Solomon in Proverbs. And he says, wisdom is screaming in the streets. Are you not listening to her? Carry her in your pockets. Okay. Read it for yourself. Feeling like something big is about to occur. What is coming? I don't know, but I just feel like something big is coming because today I was just antsy and I'm just like, everything is good, but I just feel like something big is coming, some big announcement. Maybe there was what you call that? Somebody done stole data and now in the process of stealing the data, they done found out some big stuff now. I don't know. I don't know if there's been a data breach. But what I know is something feels like the air today just feels like something big is going to happen. Like the quiet before the storm. I said, woo, today was quiet. So I said, I like it. I ain't pushing nothing because I don't want nothing to happen. Everyone gets the opportunity to do their own work and see things in their own time. But we know change is always on your menu because nothing is more important than change because something is always changing. It's hard when you love folks, but in their own time and keep going. Just let them learn their own lessons, okay? They get the opportunity to decide just like you did because everybody making our own decisions every day. I know you care about them, but what are they showing you? Are you paying attention? Some want to only connect when they feel you growing. Let them go to learn their own lessons. They will hold you down from moving forward. Just let go. Let them go. Let that contract go. Let it go. It will be okay. God has you and them. Trust that everyone must work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. Trust in God. Don't carry someone else's battle. Read Philippians 2:12 for yourself. Save yourself and keep going. You're going to be resentful if you stop. James 1:19-21 NLT. Don't allow anyone to take your power or your energy. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger does not produce the righteousness God desires. There's one thing between human anger and righteous anger. Righteous anger said we got to do something. So get rid of all that negative thinking and humbly accept the word that God has planted in your hearts. I don't know what God planted in your hearts. I know what he did for me. For it has the power to save your souls. If you listen. Verses like the Quran 1753 and 4148 highlight the importance of speaking kindly, avoiding slander and gossip, and speaking the truth. Are we doing that? 254 emphasizes that it's not for creation that's under Allah to question Allah's decisions because Allah knows better. It requires a believer to surrender to Allah's will, which is the message of faith, and surrender to divine authority. Are y'all doing it? Or are we fighting? Because if we both are doing our part, guess what? We wouldn't have time to fight. Do we know who we really are? It's time we get into our studies, whatever we are in. Because see, let me tell you something. We so busy trying to control people, and then when we see control on the big stage, we don't know where it came from. The churches try to control the people. We trying to control each other. No, that ain't the religion you need to be in. How you know? You don't know me. You don't know how I grew up. You don't know nothing about me. But you want to control what I say, what I do, where I go, who I'm with, and everything. And you wonder why you seeing what you seeing on the big stage. And then you want to control people. It's all about me. I'm the center of, and if it's not, I'm not the center. I'm having a fit. I'm having a blow up. I'm losing my mind if I'm not the center. Like this, we get an opportunity to do better. We're blaming it on one person because we see that, but it's that one person is showing everything in the collective. That one person is showing us they are the mirror. We just don't like what we see, but they are the mirror. Whatever you in, pray, meditate, and find out who you are. Be so secure when things come to steal your joy, you bounce back quicker. If we release the reins of control in certain areas, we'll stop seeing control. I'm still saying, you know why I'm still saying? Because it's my birthright. It's my spiritual birthright. Because I was born of a womb of a woman. I am worthy of love. I am so worthy of love. Because God told me. I am worthy of a life I love. I am so worthy of a life I love. To finding joy in myself. I'm worthy of a rounded, wealthy life. That's infinite wealth on every level in my life. If there's a level of anything, you can be wealthy on everything. An abundance of it all. I'm worthy of the dream that is in my heart. Because if the dream that's in here, you best believe it's coming to pass. Because if God gave it to me, it's coming to pass. Because we going full force. And stopping when God say stop. I release the timelines that are no longer for me. I have no ought with you. I don't have no bitterness with you. I don't have anything in my heart. No malice in my heart. I just send cleansing and purifying energy to you. And I pray that you find your path. I pray that you find what you're looking for, where you going. Because you did what you did, and I believed you the first time. A few times I called on. It took some of it I had to see a few times because I couldn't believe it because I really cared and really loved you. But then when I seen it, I said it's time to go. And when I let go, I meant that thing. So I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you. We can no longer walk together. We are now Abraham and Lot. You go your way, I'm going mine. I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you, and I pray you find what you're looking for. Okay. Because it's done. Contract is fulfilled. Thank you. I release all the timelines that require me to shrink. Ain't nobody got time to shrink. Child, if I gotta quit being who I am, keep holding your breath because you're gonna be in a casket soon because I'm not gonna do that. I'm not rushing or placing pressure on myself. I'm just open for clear communication and wisdom on my next move in stillness. When you get still, you be surprised what you find about yourself. I walk forward lighter, clearer, and deeply supported. I'm never alone. I have my ancestors, angels, and God. It is a threefold cord. I'm so secure. Even if I'm walking by myself, I'm never alone. My ancestors, man, they was some stuff that was done to them, and they said, we ain't finished yet. So that's between your ancestors and mine, okay? Ain't got nothing to do with that. The angels always bring me in something amazing that causes my heart to light up, and they never fail to blow my mind. It popped up right there in front of the window today. I was like, what? Don't even hardly see that one. But they made sure I seen it. I'm aware enough to pause, breathe, and sit still for the next move, or just know that I am loved in every way that love can show itself. Love has 101 million ways to show itself. Are you paying attention? Are you receiving it when God gives it to you? Don't push it away. People go out of their way to do me good because of the favor of God on my life. Rules, laws, regulations, and any red tape is removed from me. It is said we don't usually do this. They just can't help it. I can't either. But if God say, my intuition say, let go. And my ancestors say, I wish you would go over there. My hands is up. I am done. I have miracles every day, and uncommon blessings find me without me even searching for them. They just fall upon me because I'm aligned. Once you start doing what God asks you to do and get in line, things just start falling on you. You don't even see it. It just blessings on blessings on blessings. Okay. I don't consent in any energy control. I'm grounded, safe, and fully in control of myself. I think that was Tytrabet. Untouchable and fully sovereign in myself. All cords are removed from me. Cut, cut, snip, snip, burn, burn. And I sever the cords of connection. And the reason I'm holding on, why? We both made decisions and we living in that, okay? I'm worthy of my dreams and everything my heart desires. If it's in here, you best believe it's coming to pass. Woo! I allow clear thinking to find me without fighting for it. I don't have to compete with you. I don't have to fight with you because my stuff is tailor-made just for Renetta. Okay. I'm worthy of seeing all my dreams come true while seeing the light in darkness at any moment. If I come up here, I can see this thing from a different standpoint. And when I do, I change my life in seconds. Okay. It's easier to walk away too. I saw this somewhere and I said, that's mine. All things come to me in perfect, mature timing for my highest outcome and for the good of all. Because if I win, you win. And if you win, I win. Why? Because we're going to share what we can, and the rest is going in our journal. Money comes back to me multiplied on every dollar that was spent. Double, triple, quadruple, 100-fold on every dime that was spent, stolen, and taken that I don't know about, and everything my ancestors left behind that they didn't get. Okay. I'm willing to open space for things I truly want by being gentle with myself. I'm intentional with love for myself. Man, me and me was loving on me today. Child, the way I was loving on me, I put on something today, and I said, oh, girl, look how sexy you look. Oh, I was in the mirror talking to myself, singing myself a song, and then I went outside and came back. I said, oh, so, yeah, hey, what? You not ready. I was just having myself a good time. Right by myself, me and Bella. I saw this on Google and I said, thank you, Google. And I put some season on it so the ancestors said stop. And put some hot sauce on it. Okay. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, I remove all energy that doesn't belong to me from my energy field and I send it back to the rightful owner. Cleansed and purified, no matter where we originally met. Universe, world, timeline, dimension, or realm. Space dust, space rock, whatever. I sever the cord of connection. Lessons have been learned and I release you to find your own way. That's beautiful. I call all my energy fragments back to me now. I'm like Magneto. Okay. I am free. I am free. I am free. I'm a magnet for everything that is mine. I now release all energies, traumas, and patterns that were left behind in my ancestors that tried to hold on. And I said, if they're not in alignment with the highest good across all timelines, dimensions, and realms, I'm calling all my stuff back and theirs too. I am free. I am free. I am free. Can we sit in this peace Why we trust the process? Let me tell you something. It ain't always easy. It ain't. Because while you over here sitting in pieces, trying to sit in pieces, a lot of stuff trying to get your attention. But you sit in peace because that's when the teacher's giving the test. I'm doing speaking engagements and podcasts that bring transformation. Signature topic: helping visionaries reconnect, reinvent, go through the rebirth process, and rise with confidence. We're all visionaries with our own personal dreams. It's just we forgot about them. Surviving life, and we threw it in the back seat. It's time to pull those things out of the back seat, bring them into the front seat, and give that sucker CPR and give a defibrillator clear. Bring it back to life so we can keep going. Okay, teaching individuals how to return to themselves, quiet the noise, and live boldly on their own terms. Guided through mindset shifts, emotional release, and soul clear thinking. Soul level clear thinking. Helping all of us navigate reinvention, rebirth, set boundaries, and rise into our purpose with confidence, because confidence is the missing substance to faith. Hi, my name is RenettaCheston, the owner and founder of Life Success Results, LLC, soul igniter, trauma overcomer, holistic spiritual strategist. I work with the whole being from my level of training and education, mind, spirit, soul, and body. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in healthcare to understand and comprehend public and mental health. Because if you have public health, you have a mental health problem. They just lost everything. How would you feel? Massage therapy, Reiki and sound healing, holistic practitioner where we pull out all the impurities for the rooter to the tutor, human design practitioner where we go back to the beginning, get your purpose, come back, look at that generational baggage and start pulling it out. When I was given the task of having uncomfortable conversations with others, I knew then my path would be a little different and probably would be a little standoffish until people have done their own work. But that didn't stop me. I asked myself uncomfortable questions every day to get out of old patterns. I do the work every day, and it's not always pretty or easy. But I wake up to confront the areas in me, in love, that need a facelift. We do so much work on the outside, but on the inside, cesspools. So I can go forward. What will you do? What are you afraid of losing? Is it once you see colonialism and imperialism has played everyone, you won't know what to do? If we're not fighting each other, how about we find ways to have conversations that cause a pause, to see life differently in all areas. This will cause us to quit blaming someone else for all our problems and see what we might have. Look at the person in the mirror, man. Michael Jackson, look at the person in the mirror. That we can only meet people how we have met ourselves. Remember that next time you say you want a real relationship. It requires a mask to come off and come on the table and quit being your representative and be your real self. We have many adults who were never taught how to feel safe. So they seek safety and validation on the outside of them because of a plethora of challenges that occurred in childhood processes. So you get on social media, you share all your business. I'm talking about all of it. Look what I'm doing today. Look where I'm at right now. Look what I'm looking over. I'm looking over here. I'm looking over there. Look what I'm doing right here. You're not doing a documentary, but everything you do, everybody got to know. Everybody should know everything that you're doing. That could be a setup, okay? So I ask you, what emotion from your childhood pushed you into a corner and made you vow to not do or be? I hate them. I'm not going to be her. I'm not going to be him. I vow to never. Until you renounce them vows, you're not going to go no further. See, vows, we all made them. Remember that stuff we said as a little kid? We get an opportunity to go back. You can do this in your private office or your private home, your private room, wherever, and start denouncing some of these vows. See, the vows we all made is playing out on the big stage, plus our own level of control that we doing to each other. While we get to protest and speak our minds, are we helping that little girl or little boy on the inside here? That's our true shadow. I'm being commissioned to aid in the process by sharing how I overcame everything meant to keep me from coming into my true identity. I had to believe in myself and God. See, God is on the inside of me right here. Before I could even talk to God, I had to find me first. Because once I find me, why is that bothering you? Why is that setting you off? Why is that triggering you? Why you respond back like that? God is right here waiting on me because God is in my heart. So God is waiting on me to look into my heart, to get into the shadow work. Because when I get into the shadow work, I run straight down into God. That's who I need to run into. Because when I run into God, now I got my partner to help me out. We're taught God is on the outside of us, but God is really on the inside of us, in our heart, waiting to be tagged into our battles. 2 Corinthians 10 and Ephesians 6 says the same thing. We're fighting principalities, rulers of the darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Don't ever forget this. We are spirit beings first. We are not originally from here. We came from somewhere else. We are spirit beings first. If you want to call it what it is, you can say we are aliens to this place. Okay. Then we have a body. You don't believe we're aliens to this place? Look at everything. Look at your God I can't even say it right. Gada. Look at your brain. Just look at your brain. And then look at your pineal gland. Doesn't that look a little weird? And then look at your spine. The back of your brain down to your spine. Just that part looks like an alien. If you look at parts of the body, and then look at your blood vessels, and then look at your arteries, just go and Google it, and just look at the inside of the body. Tell me what you see. You tell me what you see and be honest with yourself. So because we didn't come here, some other people didn't come from here neither. But they are the dragons, and I can't think of the name of the place. The reptilians. I know you say this right here is conspiracy theory, but I'm telling you, something to come out. Something to come, man. It's gonna mess you up, and when you know, some people are going. This is when the negative thinking has gone on so long. The negative thinking on this earth has gone on for so long that it's the norm of society. Okay, some stuff has become as common to the place as apple pie. Racism. Knowing it's a mental health problem. Because in order for you to act like you bigger than me, I gotta play my part. I took my whole script and tore it up. This is when negative thinking is going on for so long, it's the norm in society. Okay. I'm not playing that part no more, so your feelings gonna be hurt coming over here. This is why every ascendant master, you gonna be butthurt coming over here. This is what every ascendant master had to fight against. Us. The mindsets of us who complain but don't want to do the work or don't even know how to. And it causes a dip in morale because everything is ancestral or generational. So to get out, it requires one to get uncomfortable and to get past the plateau of complacency. Or this is how we've always done it. And how they say in the church, there is no such thing as generational curses. Let me tell you something. You can say that all you want to, but if you're not an FBA onto this planet, you don't know what it is because you're benefiting off of it. Okay. So we dealing with the groups. Even though we all one, we dealing with the groups. Okay. The FBAs, the Afrobanums, the African diaspora, the FBAs, we had to live here. Yes, there were other people that had to deal, that also dealt in the slave trade and all this other stuff. But let me tell you something. We was here. We've been here for millions of years. We've been declassified as indigenous people by that mad scientist. Before he left here, he changed everything. He knew he was indigenous, and then he went around to all the places telling people, look at, if the videos is down there, you can see it. I left, And it has all the documentation to prove. So you can see it so your mouth can be wide open like mine was. Okay. They on purpose did that. And then even in 1987, our own reclassified us after receiving Cherokee rights. Didn't think about nobody else, just self. That's not a leader. Leaders don't think of just self. Leaders think of everyone. Because as long as we keep reclassifying, we're back where we started. We are the indigenous here. Not the people who say they are and really are Siberians. Okay. Y'all were never taught how to fight because your leaders get in the back room and y'all do stuff like that. And then y'all look at the Constitution when you want to buy land. Now you're looking at the Constitution finding out that people it's in your Constitution. That's how much the European rule has over your continent. They have put it in your Constitution that they can come and buy land, but you can't. How you a farmer on your own land? And they can take your land while you farming it. Because they like how pretty you done put it. That sound like what happened over here. Gotta have some boundaries, honey. Gotta have some boundaries. Gotta get some people up out of there. See, the leaders keep you quiet by them documents. So in essence, what they've done is take your rights to use your own product. They cause this lack and insufficiency when you got an overflow of everything. So they give you crumbs. And it seems like you got a piece of a cake when you have the whole cake, the kit and caboodle. You have everything. You might well say you Cheesecake Factory. And then they coming in there trying to sell you cheesecake. But you Cheesecake Factory, but they telling you, no, you ain't Cheesecake Factory. And while you bringing in cheesecake to the Cheesecake Factory, they taking the cheesecakes out the back. So you go in the back to put cheesecake on display and you don't got them because they done took them. Because your leaders gave them full rights. Ain't that a mess? This is all they know, scarcity. We know togetherness through Ubuntu. And now we get a chance to get back there. Hopefully your eyes are opening so you can really see what's going on. Separate we fail, together we prosper. New documents prove that we were here first. Look down there, it's with the Smithsonian. They said they didn't know. And it's got they stamp on it, along with the NPR and along with the Library of Congress. I told you everything is a beautiful set of display. Action. Okay, so what you gonna do is she gonna say something, and you gonna say something, and you gonna do this right here, and then you gonna put on this act, and then this hot mess. So you need to run the FBA's they stuff back now. You know what's being said, or deal with God. He already said what would occur. He said that we were gonna be locked down in chains and everything. But then he said after that happened, that he was going to deal with the people who did it. Professor Constantine wrote a few books only because they was a competition and there was going to be a lot of money. If they would have never been a competition, we would have never known none of this. Being the first indigenous group in every continent, including Asia, all of Asia, every continent, we were first, and then they pushed us in the corner like we didn't exist. And let me tell you when it really happened. You don't believe me? Look up 1916 to 1933 and see the big push out. That's when you're going to see. That's when you're going to see what happened with Wilmington. That's when you're going to see what happened with Oklahoma. And you're going to see it was a big turnover at that time. They did it all at once. They started flooding the towns, burning the towns, bombing the towns. Go, if you check it and see what I say. We know y'all got resources. They do too. Now it's time for y'all to take over y'all resources. Y'all, you got everything. Put them out. Caucasians, y'all almost got it. A lot of y'all are seeing it now. For what happened with Miss Good, because it could happen to anyone. And a lot of y'all getting slapped around by y'all own. Because see, you thought you was going to be able to hide and use your supremacy and say this right here. And they're telling you when y'all going to learn. Because they ain't operating by no laws that you know. Everything doesn't revolve around you. And to think it does causes you to act as a narcissist. And you know what we do with narcissists. We don't do no contact. Just saying, we don't. We let you just breathe. Unless you get some empathy and some thoughtfulness, ain't nobody got time for that. And you benefiting off the FBAs. You've been benefiting for a long time. And it's funny how you projected. You said the FBAs is lazy. But we were the ones doing all the work. My ancestors did all the work, but you the ones sitting on your butt. Let me tell you something. People will try to change your name by projecting on you who they are. So when someone calls you a name, if that name don't fit, cut that contract and say, that ain't my name. I don't receive that. Even with the N-word, don't even, If they call the N-word, that's not your name. That ain't your contract. As long as they don't put their hands on you, we good. Okay, Latino and Spanish. If y'all come together, just in a group and deal with y'all own issues, because we got our own issues in the FBAs, okay? If y'all deal with y'all issues in there, do you know what y'all can do? Man, y'all got so much. But y'all so separate. And y'all benefiting off the FBAs. So we did the civil rights and everybody jumped in underneath that. Even the LGBTQAI, they jumped in underneath that too. That's how they got their rights. Everybody benefited off us. And when we say that, everybody get mad. And it's funny how that group benefited off us, but then want to use the civil rights, but then treat the FBAs in the group like they don't exist. Like, really? Come on, y'all. We get an opportunity to do better. We going into some new seasons. We get an opportunity to be better, y'all. The Asian groups, if y'all would come together, we finding out that some of y'all black, especially Vietnamese, some of y'all get as dark as us. Y'all benefiting off the FBAs. If y'all would come together, y'all come to our neighborhood and open up these stores, and y'all assimilate to be with the Caucasians because they allow you to step on us. When you come into our neighborhood, we can't get a loan. We trying to get the loans with the bank, and the bank say no because of redlining. Then y'all come in and get the banks, and they use y'all to hurt us. And for a long time, it's been working. But y'all starting to see stuff too. And y'all been asking us to help, and then y'all ask for help once you see that the assimilation don't work no more. Y'all even dealing with y'all own. Native Americans, they say they are native to the land, but they really are Siberian, but are cosplaying as American. See, they were bought here. Yeah. Some of y'all didn't come freely either. So, it is what it is. A lot of y'all did come freely, but some of you didn't. But you are Siberian. And you say you are native to the land. But we've been on this land so long. And it's funny how when you go back, look at the documentaries down there. You'll look down there and you'll see what the scientists say, well, who is this group? Who is this group now? Excuse me, confirmation burp. They're saying that they Native Americans when these people is pitch black. These people black. They black and they black. You see, what happened was we made a treaty with y'all when we got together because we were both hated groups. And they was going to put y'all in slavery. We made a treaty with y'all and we did it. Little did we know when we made that treaty with y'all that y'all was going to turn around and betray us. And sold the land for $5. Because it seemed like such a great deal. Where that get you? That's why they take so much. They remember the treaties and how you betrayed us, just like everyone else. No anger, just stating facts. I'm not mad, I promise you. They played you too. Alaskan and Hawaiians, they played you too. Y'all been through a lot too. And stay clear to assimilate until you can't no more. And you also benefited off the FBAs. But them Hawaiians, y'all lost a lot. Y'all queen went through a lot. They came over there, took over your queen's palace, put her on house arrest, and then threw it out of there like it was nothing, but that was y'all quick. Y'all been through a lot too. And I'm not negating none of the pain that y'all went through. I'm not negating that. However, there was no whips and there was no chains. They won 400 years plus of fighting a system. Everybody benefited off us being at the bottom. Just saying. There are some freebies and a link for my podcast with Women's Leveling Up that was done in May. Also, there's some links for some magazines I was covered in September, October, and December. Look in the description below to find the things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. I cannot. I'm looking for. There we go. Remember, I placed the links to my own personal bookstore. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. There we go. Don't know why I was doing that, but it just did. Page 46. I don't know how I came to this again. Okay. Rest in me and trust me to handle everything. I have you. Just relax. Come on here. God is good. And then I also have my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both of those books are my shadow activity books. And the reason why I call them shadow activity books is because it allows you to have fun with your inner child and your inner teenager. So you get a word of knowledge and you get an exercise. Then you get the shadow question. Not so nice. Okay? But it causes you to look into the mirror. When you get tired of looking in the mirror, go to the color page. And then when you get to the color page, God asks you to keep between the age of 5 and 10. Why? Because the age of 5 and 10 is when most childhood wounding happen. And then by the age of 7, it is solidified in the system. Okay? By the age of 10, it is really solidified if nobody came to assist. By the age of 21 to 25, that is your time to deal with it in your own personal way because now you consider an adult. Okay? That's your process to work out now. No longer can you blame any adults in your life. Then you have 4 pages of drawing, doodling, sketching, all of that. Why? Because the closer you get to God, the more it feels like Stranger Things and X-Files. Because you ask God something, you get an email and to say exactly what you was looking for. The answer will be there. Or you go outside, take out the trash, it'll be on the side of a van. Or you'll be going somewhere and somebody will say something and you just stop. You're like, how do they know that? And they will, or you're talking to somebody, they say, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm hearing this, and I'm just going to, and then you just looking at them like, what? You like, wait a minute, let me write this down. Honey. Or stuff, or I'll be walking around here, and a book will just fall off the shelf, and the book will fall off the shelf, and I'm like, wait a minute. And the other day it happened, and they said, Holy Spirit, and I said, okay, maybe I need to pray in the Spirit, but I said, before I do that, let me see what the book said, and just show, it said, praying in the Spirit. I said, well, let me get on it. And sure enough, something happened, and like 10 minutes later, and I said, thank you, Lord. You see what I'm saying? No matter what your background, because God don't care about your background. And don't forget about my other 2 books, Influence and Impact with Chris Voss, and Mindset Matters. Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield. Let me tell you, God don't care about that. Okay, notebooks and journals for all. Notebooks and journals for all. Coloring books that help in meditating and recalibrating the mind. I'm excited about this venture. Why? Because I'm in charge of my own intellectual property. Although I have a lot of stuff on Amazon, my special journals are on my special site. Okay? Don't forget about the 105 spiritual laws that govern the earth. Yes, it's 105 spiritual laws, but we are now under love and grace, putting up boundaries. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, the juicy updates, and the upcoming events. You have the Adjective PDF for you, along with your 400 values PDF to put that together and change your whole Sims character to Janky promoting that game, because that's what I did. Okay? Look at the new link for the school app. Got things started. Come on over there and see everything. I was inducted in the end of 2025 in Who's Who of 2025. Influential Women 2025. Worldwide Women. God is just good. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I received in 2017. This was given to me from Who's Who, from the work I was doing with my nonprofit. I was helping women and teenage girls coming out of sex trafficking. I had a lot of people and they just walked away. Let me tell you something. When people walk away, let them go. Let them go. I don't care who it is. Family, lovers, friends. Let them go. Because if they're walking away, they don't want to be there no more. Don't hold on to nothing. They don't want to be with you. Okay? Let it go. Then I was helping out teenage girls. That two sets of teenage girls. One that came out and said they were LGBTQAI. The other one that came out and said they was pregnant and their family kicked them out. We was in a state at the time that we didn't do that. So I took them in, or I took them to the teen center and checked on them until they said they was good. And then I was helping domestic violence people, domestic violence women, and we lost two because they went back more than twice. I don't judge because we all are addicted to something. We are addicted to the gym. We are addicted to adrenaline. Okay, it's not just bad stuff we're addicted to. We're addicted to some good stuff too. Okay, some people are addicted to gossip. How about that? And then I also help people that lost everything in their homes to fire or floods because people knew I had a nonprofit. People was always giving me beds, shoes, mattresses, clothes, and I would clean up everything and have it ready for when people came, it would be ready. And so families would come and I said, how many bedrooms you need? They would tell me. I said, only take what you need because somebody else is coming. And then I would give them toiletry bags, and women would get the menstrual toiletry bags, and then I would give them a bag with fingernail polish and fingernail polish remover in it. Why? Because even though you have lost everything in seconds and your life is in shambles right now, in a few days, you're going to start coming down, and when you come down, you want something to say, I got something. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is gone. You just lost everything, like fire just took at everything. Honey. And then I helped, who else I helped? And then I helped this family for Thanksgiving. One family for Thanksgiving that she told me about, the people was getting laid off for Christmas, helped out. Two other families got two gifts, Christmas gifts for the kids. And then I made sure I gave them honey baked ham for Christmas Day. And then I made sure they received $150 for that month, because while you looking for food, working for a job, you don't need to be concerned about the food. And then they had special needs kids in the house. So just making sure that they had what they needed. Okay. And I was just helping so many people. Oh, and I took two women and I took them and I sent them through therapy and gave them therapy for like 3 to 6 months, or 250 or 150 gift card. You would have to look on my webpage, Refuge Women's Transition Center, to see. Okay. Because I put everything there, but I didn't put everything about the teenagers and the women, because that will put me in danger. And anything that's going to put me and my family in danger, I wouldn't do that. Honey, I'm just so grateful to God, because God said whatever you do in private, He rewards you in public. And God is just, oof. God is just so amazing. And I did all that without fanfare. I just put everything on my website and I left it right there. God is faithful. I am thankful for everything. Don't forget to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company I use with All Natural Remedies. When I was given a diagnosis in 2017 of breast cancer, I didn't take any cancer treatments. They told me I had 6 months to live. I said, the devil is a lie. They was like, look, it is all on your left-hand side. Don't you see it right here? What we talking about? Let me tell you, we talking about contracts. Ain't nobody got time for that. You agree to something, now you got that contract there. I ain't got time for that. And I wasn't even thinking about agreements. I was thinking about, if I say okay what you said, now it's on me for real and it can take me down. I said, the devil is a lie. I'm not. They was like, don't you see it? I said, I see it, but just because I see it don't mean I got to agree with it. And then I said, I bind up every disease, germ, bacteria, every tumor, every growth, every parasite. I curse it to the root and I send it back to the pit of hell from which it came. I loose the blood of Jesus and I loose the hand of God. And then I said, I take full responsibility. God loves it when you take responsibility of yourself. I said, I take full responsibility because I ate the food. Yes, they poisoned the food. Yes, they did all this stuff to the food, did all these chemicals and stuff that you can't even name. Yes, however, I was eating the food, so I'm going to take full responsibility. Honey, they said, what you doing? I said, put my order in, so when I come back, you know what happened. Boo. I got my testimony and did. So I went home, talked to God. He said, get the naturopathic doctor. I put on everything the doctor said he had on being alkaline, And I showed the doctor and naturopathic doctor. She said, look, because you already have this in your body, we need to make sure you don't have eat anything that's going to cause acid in your body. We need you as alkaline as possible. I said, say less. And we took some stuff off the list. Then she said, then she broke it down. And then she said, because of your blood type, this is for your blood type. Okay? That's why I say do what's right for you. Somebody else may be able to do this, but what does your blood type say? Because every blood type can't do the same thing. Okay. Then I went and talked to my ancestor. Said put that dandelion, put that morning glory. The morning glory you could okay. Then I got that crabgrass. The crabgrass is wild scallions. You dig it up out your backyard. Okay, it's right there in the backyard. You ain't got to buy them scallions. Dig it up, wash it up real good, and cut it up. Our ancestors lived off this. When they say they lived off the land, they really mean it. Because they had scraps to eat from it. They had to make it work. And that's how they learned herbal healing. Is because they had to live off the land and figure it out. Honey. And then we had poke salad. Poke salad looked like lettuce and cilantro had a baby together and it's serrated around the edges. It's got a nutty flavor and it tastes so good. Just put it in your food. You see what I'm talking about. And then I put it on top of my spinach. And that jasmine rice just wilted it, but it was still kept that chlorophyll, so it was still good. So it went in and did what it needed to do inside of my system. And then I had a zucchini, squash, red onions, red, orange, and yellow bell peppers. And I left the bell peppers still kind of crunchy. Same thing with the zucchini and squash. It was still kind of crunchy, so it kept its verdure. So it went down and did what it needed to do. Child, and I ate some seafood every once in a while. And that second month, I was with my naturopathic doctor. She said, I know you don't want to do it, but I need you to add some meat to your diet. She said, we can get this with veggies. She said, I need this to happen quickly because we need to build up your T cells because you are fighting this cancer. And we need to fight. And we need your hemoglobin up. We need your white blood cells fighting because when they fighting, all this stuff is out of here. And I say less. Because see, when you're trying to stay here, you're going to do what needs to be done. Outside of using all these chemicals, it's going to take you out. That's going to make your system worse. Child, I'm so grateful to God that he set me up with how he set me up and how he loved me, how he loved me. Let me tell you something. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. God, I thank you for loving me, keeping me, hugging me. I thank you for doing me the way you do me, how you love me. I'm so grateful that you don't do me like Romans 1 and leave me over there in that corner by myself. God, I'm so glad you love me. You hear me? I can't speak for nobody else, but I'm so grateful. Let me tell you. And then they call us disenfranchised. They say that we the minority, and we are not. We are God's chosen people. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We are the original Jews. We are. Okay. We have been here for millions of years. Okay. Been here for a long time. God know what he's talking about. Child, let's break it down. Glory be to God. I thank you, God. So they told us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, then took the boots and the shoestrings. God said, go over there and get you some bamboo and make your own shoes. Our ancestors were making their own shoes by the skin of the animals. Taking the hide and making their own shoes. Okay. And doing what needed to be done. They tell me, wait a minute, you took everything. We took everything and you still making it? They still saying it today. We took everything and you still making it? Black women are the most educated. Yeah, excuse me, confirmation, but we're the most educated. Why? Because we see in order to grow, you got to go get the information. And they say what you want, we're going to go get it. By any means necessary. Honey, break it down. And God is in our ear telling us how to play spades, uno, and tongue. And we are grateful every step of the way. I am thankful that you're here tonight because you could have been anywhere in the world. You know what I want to send you? I want to send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy. As you go on your journey, I pray that you find your way. I pray that you find the way that God wants you to go and you don't go against it, that you surrender to the will of God for your life and that you get into the seat and in the pocket of your dream. And I thank you for being here, and I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you. I love you in the love of the Lord. Have a great evening. Good night.